You know what that is?
I do not.
I don't think so. That's Ben Harper
Okay.
on an album called Winter is for Lovers.
Winter, like the season?
Like the season.
Okay.
And that song is called Paris. I didn't play it very well. But that whole album is just him playing he plays, I think it's an electric guitar. He's got this extender on the top. But anyway, really pretty album. It's just him playing just little instrumentals that are beautiful. And some of them are named, there's one called Lebanon, there's one called Manhattan, Paris. And they're just really pretty, man. You just put that stuff on and just think about winter and lovers. Ben Harper, my man.
Nice. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Great Measures. My name is Richard. This is Judson.
Great measures, boy.
Okay.
Well, you know.
With the dobro.
Well,
the,
you know.
The twang out of you.
You know what I mean?
Back to Metallica today.
Back to Metallica.
We're going to go all the way to the early days, to the debut full-length album called Kill 'Em All from 1983. This is a song called Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth. It is a bass solo by Cliff Burton, accompanied by Lars on the drums.
The whole song?
Mm-hmm.
It's just bass and drums.
Mm-hmm. I'll read you a little bit of a background on it. It's a bass solo by Cliff Burton, accompanied on drums by Lars Ulrich.
You said that.
Yeah, a staple of Burton's live performances since his high school days in the band Agents of Misfortune. The instrumental track featured Burton's distinctive, quote, lead bass style of playing, incorporating heavy distortion, use of a wah pedal, and tapping. There's a spoken part at the beginning of it. You'll hear it. It says bass solo take one. That's the engineer of the album. He introduces it as bass solo take one, informing listeners that the song was recorded in one take. It was the bass solo that Burton was playing the first time Hetfield and Ulrich saw him at a gig. Hetfield stated, quote, "We heard this wild solo going on and thought, I don't see any guitar players up there. We were both counting the strings, and I finally turned to Lars and said, dude, that's a bass." Cliff was up there on stage with his band Trauma, with a wah pedal and his huge mop of red hair. He didn't care whether people were there. He was looking down at his bass, playing. For the album version, Cliff Burton insisted on recording this track alone in an empty room while the studio technicians were downstairs. He made this recording in one take after about 20 minutes of preparation.
I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, should be cool. It's a good one.
Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then.
Let's do it. Ready?
Proceed, Richard.
Bass solo, take one.
That's it.
Were they going into another song?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's not really much of a smooth transition to the next. I mean, it kind of is, but yeah, that one just kind of ends abruptly there.
So,
Yeah.
so he keeps his wah pedal on the entire time.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, that was on the whole, and he keeps it in that position when he's, and then there's really three. There's three distinct noises that a wah pedal. You ever played with a wah pedal before?
A little bit.
There's three distinct noises you can play with a wah pedal, and it's all the way up, middle way through, and then all the way to the ground. And that to the ground is the glass breaking stuff. And of course, you have two others in the transition between the three.
Yeah.
But I just like I mean, he just works the hell out of the wah pedal. You know, that he opens it up with that, or he opens the solo like this, and then whenever he'd go, and it's really cool how much control he was commanding over it by, you know, being able to go in between those, because it did sound like an electric guitar at one point.
Yeah.
But then he closes that wah pedal off.
Yeah.
Because that's the woo, and then the wah is the glass breaking part. Yeah.
The first time I heard that song, I was probably 14-ish, and I thought Kirk Hammett was on parts of it.
Yeah.
You know, for a long time I thought that until I realized no, that's the bass the whole way through.
I mean, the wah pedal is the coolest pedal that you can use on a stringed instrument like that, bass or guitar. And I liked how so he'd be playing, and then you hear this in between when he'd move, and whether he was doing it with his foot or not, it's because that thing's open and it's so sensitive. I'm talking about the wah pedal, that there's a distorted noise in between moving your parts, and for some reason that when I was young that used to bother me. So there's a slide guitar player named Derek Trucks.
Yeah.
And if you listen to him play, if he's playing with distortion, and he's playing his note, but then when he's going to another place, there's this, and that used to bother me when I was young until I got an electric guitar and put it through a wah pedal or a distortion pedal, and then realized that all that's music.
Yeah.
And so at the end of that, when it's just, I love that.
Yeah.
I love noise.
Yeah.
I just love the noise, especially when, I mean, you could just do a whole thing of noise. I could handle just noise rocks type stuff, you know. But when you make those just crunchy, just chaotic sounds, and then you realize a note comes out of it, you know, that's the beginning of the note is just the noise.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing I like about my favorite band being Metallica, Martin and Wood. They're mostly improvisational keys, upright bass or electric bass, and drums. And the drummer has, a little off topic, but whatever, I'm talking about music, has all these, I could never even pretend to know where all these things come from. But I mean, so many different types of African drums from he's got these little metal or tin just pieces that he lines on the ground from small to big, and he will literally during his drum solos go down the ground and he ding 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 ding, ding and I mean just hitting everything you can imagine. So what they do, the same kind of deal, all right. So sorry, I'm thinking.
You're good.
So they will just make inanimate noises. And then from that, all of a sudden later, you're in this galactic groove.
Okay.
And they show you how, I think what they're doing is they're giving you a master class on the whole, just the whole progression of what music really is. It's just noises that we put together in conversation to make whatever we want out of it. And but Metallica, Martin Wood will then rip it apart, and then you end up with this just noises again. And it's so cool. However, with a head full of hallucinogens, watch yourself if you go see them, because they do not give you the thing, you know, where you go, okay, we're okay here. You know, they tear it back apart and go, nah, no, you're not. That same, I hear that, and so those noises in between the notes, and the wah pedal will afford you that kind of stuff, and obviously the distortion. But he's playing Bach in the beginning, or Bach influenced for sure.
Okay. That's
straight up Baroque period classical music. And then he ends up in E minor playing just when he's going off and stuff. But the name is interesting. The name's interesting because nobody wants to get their teeth pulled.
Speaking of names, the original name for this album was Metal Up Your Ass, but they kind of felt like the record company and the...
Yeah, Kill 'Em All goes over way better.
Much better.
Metal Up Your Ass. Anesthesia, pulling teeth, you know. I mean, I guess I can hear that in it if you just want to go straight up surface with it. He's giving you the anesthesia at the beginning, you know. And just kind of lulling you to sleep.
And then he pulls your teeth.
Then pulls your teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the drums. I would only say that the drums could have been quieter in the mix.
Sure. Sure.
Because I'm focusing on the bass, and then it sort of takes a backseat to the drums.
Yeah, I think I read the budget for this whole album was like $15,000. Which that was 1983 as well, but
A lot of money, 1983. But yeah, I just I would rather have heard. Just me. I just would rather have the drums come in and been almost not definitely quieter. Definitely behind the bass.
yeah.
Or maybe let me tell Metallica how to mix their album real quick.
Please do.
If they faded in the drums rather.
Okay.
And by the end they were the loudest, because the bass is and you lose some of that it's hard to explain how I feel when I hear that. Those crunch moments, those distorted moments in between, and the whining just from the movement of the wah pedal. I just wear it or something, And then when the drums come in, you lose.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's the bass is in the
Yeah.
I would rather be hearing. I'd rather my clock be ticking with the drums rather than being hit over the head with them, and then there's the bass, right, and just be still swimming in the chaos of the bass. And
Sure.
A little bit of a ticking back, but hey, they didn't call me. They asked me what my opinion. I was 3.
You were 3 years old at that time.
But I would have told them even then. But I probably would have been nicer about it back then.
Well, cool. That was Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth.
Sure was.
From 1983's Kill 'Em All.
Up your ass.
We'll do some more. We did a lot of Ride the Lightning. We've done a couple from.
Master.
Maybe have we only done one from Master Puppets? 2. We did Orion as well, didn't we? Yeah. We might have to do another one of theirs from Master Puppets.
Have we done 3 from Master of Puppets?
Yeah. Yeah, we did. We did Welcome Home, Sanitarium. Okay. We'll go to some more Injustice for All, too. Cool. We are Great Measures. My name is Richard. This is Judson. Hope everybody has a wonderful day.
Great Measures.